All right, so welcome to our Osmosis and Diffusion Lab video. Hopefully you guys have read that and you have gone to the take action part and you've looked at the protocol. There's a correction on page 38 in your protocol. It says 0.1, 0.1, 0.3, 0.5 molar, and we need to change that to 0.005 molar, 0.003 molar, etc. So this will be written on the board. Make sure that you note that change, and when you mix those solutions that you mix them appropriately. Let's go over here and look at where we're going to mix these solutions. So you're going to be starting with dry materials this week. So you're going to have to figure out how much of this dry, in this case sucrose, you will need to put into this little weigh boat to actually mix with then your liquid to make your solution. Now you don't need to make an entire liter, so you're going to have to calculate with milliliters, and your instructors will each individually help you learn how to do that. It's called stoichiometry. When we weigh something, first of all, these scales, you have to open the lid. It kind of looks like you could put something here, but you can't. You got to open the lid. Make sure that you put your weigh boat onto the scale and then zero the scale so it comes up and it says 0. And now you can then take your solid and you can weigh then your solid out to however much it is that you calculate that you need. Okay? Make sure that you zero the scale every time, and make sure that you use a weigh boat that's been tapped out. If any water gets into the weigh boats, then you have to clean them and dry them, because otherwise it'll stick and it'll affect your measurements, and that will affect the outcomes of your experiment. You are working with sucrose, which is at your first station. It has a molecular weight of 342.29 grams per mole. Cornstarch, which with all of the contents we've got 829 grams per mole, and then salt, which is 58.44 grams per mole. So you're going to need to work with that, and again the stoichiometry you'll be helped with. Once you've mixed your solution, you're going to put it in to dialysis tubing and make your mock cell. We've already talked about that. This is what dialysis tubing looks like. It kind of looks like paper. Your instructor will already have put it into water, so it looks like this. And what you have to do when you get it is you have to rub your fingers together like this, and as you do, you can see that it opens up. And so what we want to do is we want to tie a knot in one end, okay? And you want to be careful because your fingernails will cut the plastic. And then you're going to pour your solution. See, notice here, we're going to open it up. You're going to pour your solution into the other end. I'm just going to fill this up with water right now so that you can get a feel for what it's going to look like. Okay? Well, maybe I'm not going to fill it up easily. All right, but you can see that it'll hold water. Okay, so you can see the content. All right, and then what you're going to do is tie the other end. Now, when this bag is more full, it'll be harder to tie. Make sure you're careful to just use your fingertips and not your nails, because if it leaks, it won't work. You have to make sure that you put the same amount of fluid into each of your mock or your model cells, because if you change the amount, it'll change the experiment. And then what you're going to do is take your cell, you're going to weigh it before you put it into a beaker of water, and then after that, you're going to put it into the beaker of water for 25 minutes, and then come back and weigh it again. And there should be a difference because osmosis should occur. You'll also be using some iodine, and iodine will diffuse into the cell and turn our starch purple or dark blue. So make sure that you know what's going on, read carefully, and make the note of those corrections. Have a wonderful weekend.